Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to Let's Celebrate Poetry Month by talking about storytelling, which is all what poetry really is. So, welcome. My name is Tina. I am the owner and founder of Tea with Tina, where we empower women to be the best version of themselves through focusing on their self care and mindfulness. So, come on in, get comfortable so that we can relax and talk about poetry and celebrate because this is National Poetry Month. And I hope that we all get to celebrate together and enjoy. Welcome. Come on in. Let's just sit back and chill. And guess what? We have a wonderful, awesome, amazing guest today. I cannot wait to have my guest come on. It's going to be awesome. My brother, which is a fellow poet. I love my poetry community, and it is just awesome to be able to be in the same space and vibe for a brief moment to talk about one of the most amazing things that I love to do, which is to write poetry. Because I do believe that it tells a story. And I also believe we all have a story to tell. So being able to come with my brother today and talk about poetry and vibe a little bit, it's amazing. So I want you guys to sit back, get comfortable. Welcome. As you come on in, please welcome others. We're going to be here for a while where we can come in and just fellowship and have a great time. And if there's questions, please make sure you drop those questions. Yes, poetry is dear to my heart. It really is. And I'm very new to poetry, so I love the community that has embraced me and that has given me that extra boost to keep it going. So I'm so honored. I'm going to invite a few people in. And we're going to get ready. And my brother, when you are ready to come on, I'm definitely going to give you a introduction, and then I want you to have at it. I want you to come on board. I want us to be able to vibe and talk about this thing called poetry because it is absolutely a dope thing. And I'm excited to share today. So, because I do have my own story in my background, and my brother has his own too. So we're going to come on board, talk about that, and tell me if you guys are out there listening right now. If you like to write poetry, please drop us some comments below and let us know if you like to write it or read it, or if it's just something that, soothes your soul. Like, let us know because we want to know those things. Welcome. Oh, here comes my brother. So, guys, my brother's coming on. We're going to vibe and talk a little bit about poetry and storytelling. So let me welcome him now. I'm so excited that he's coming in. Welcome. I see you, Right Path 247. I see you, Henry. How are you? You're out there doing some great things as well. Thank you so much for embracing me as well in the poetry community. Again, I'm just honored to have so many people that have given me, a pathway. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Welcome. You like to read poetry? Yes. I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for the hearts. And you know what? I started writing poetry probably back in like 2014, 2015. You ready, my brother? I'm waiting on you. Come on, let's do it. I'm ready. Let's do it, family. Let's do it. Thank you so much for the hearts. You know, um, I love to write a variety of different types of poetry. Let's see if I can request you again because it said that we were ready to get you on board. I just sent you another request, okay? Welcome. Look at all my poetry friends coming on in. You guys are awesome. I just sent you another request, so you should get it. And then we will bring you on, my brother, and let you come on and just give us life. Poetry has its own way of, I know for me, it has its way of healing. It has its way of telling a story. It paints a picture in our lives, and it definitely inspires other people. So that's what's great for me. Yes, love it, music, love it. There's my brother.
Peace and love. What's happening? What's going on? What's
Nothing much.
happening?
How are you?
We good. Can you hear me? Am I good? Am I
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there?
I can hear
We
you.
in there.
Yes.
Oh well.
It's awesome to have you present. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me today. Um,
Okay.
Hats off to you. I was just bragging on the poetry community because you guys have embraced me. I'm very new to this, and you guys took me on, and I'm so thankful. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I put it like this, man. You know, the poetry community, we gonna give it to each other anyway, cause like, man, poetry's in the
It is.
soul. You know what I'm
It
saying?
really is.
So I do, I want to say I appreciate you for allowing me to get a second chance, cause the first time, it was like hard to get that connected,
Yeah.
technical difficulties and such.
It happens.
But let's get it, right?
They
I'm ready
they
whenever.
knew that we were trying to connect those positive vibes. That's all that was.
Man, let's get. I mean, look, it's all cool that everybody's not here yet,
Right.
but at the end of the day, we got the recap and the replay.
Exactly.
I'm just happy to be here, and I appreciate you, sis, for even giving me this opportunity to tap in with you and create
Of
this positive
course.
energy. And I love, peace, love to everybody out there in the chat team. You know what I'm saying? I
I
see you.
see you. We see you. We do. I would
So let's
love
vibe.
for you to just because I've learned so much from you in this short time of being in your space and getting to know you. But I would really love for you to talk to me a little bit about your journey and when your writing started
Okay.
for you.
To be honest, it'd be weird because everybody say they started from when they was
Uh-huh.
young. You know what I mean, with the 1, 2, 3
Yeah.
poetry, but I literally started when I was about 9 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
And didn't even know what I was doing. I just know that I wanted to do it, and the words seemed to sink in and started to rhyme with each other.
Okay.
But I learned about 9 years old. I just wanted to write, but I didn't know it was called poetry.
Okay.
I just started writing. It's in my family,
Mm-hmm.
but I just started writing out of the blue. So I just couldn't stop. I got addicted to it after that. After I found out what it
Mm-hmm.
was, and my aunt actually, gave me the format of what it was to write poetry or to write music.
Okay.
Period. And you will see on here. I ain't gonna give up her name yet because my auntie is actually on here. She's putting out her books as well and such. But she actually gave me the path to even
Oh,
doing this.
that's
I wouldn't even be
beautiful.
doing this if it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Wow.
So that's a long journey because I can actually say I wasn't gonna continue this path because if it wasn't for my pops, my
Mm-hmm.
dad, before saying rest in peace or whatever, but he found one of my old raps in the bathroom. When you start off rapping and things like that, it can be quite vulgar. If you
Mm-hmm.
might say, we all, wanted to be, I guess you would say,
Yeah.
street and things like
Right.
that. And it was almost a disappointment. My dad was disappointed in me. A little like, man, you could do a lot more
Mm-hmm.
than this and all this rugged writing because it was cold,
Okay.
but it was rough. Like
Yeah.
it was, guns and things and like
Okay.
that. But
Yeah.
so I worked on this one poem, you know what I'm saying, that I had. It's gonna be in my book. It's called Music and Poetry, combining the two, showing that it has a lot to do with
It
each other.
does.
And just to get straight to the joint, my dad said, bring me something that I can really look at and listen
Mm-hmm.
to. You know what I mean? And I worked on this poem for 3 months just to get straight to
Oh,
it,
wow.
long story short. I worked on this poem for 3 months and I was reading the dictionary. This is like years and
Mm-hmm.
years later of learning how to do it. And I presented it to him 5 days before his passing and
Okay.
everything.
Wow.
And when I read it to him, he was speechless. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He was speechless because I actually put my mind to it, take out all the cussing
Mm-hmm.
and try to like present more wordplay
Yes.
than the disrespect and the craziness. I wanted to show him another side of me, a more classy
Mm-hmm.
side. He was speechless. And then, 5 days later, he passed on. Before then, his last words was, "This is what I want you to do. This is what I love to see.
Mm.
So I can't stop."
No, you can't. Oh, wow. That's a story. 9 years old. It started.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what people like write for pain. So man, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people say you gotta write to write a happy poem, you gotta be in a happy mood. No. I'm in my darkest places when I write about positive things
Yeah.
because that's what I desire
Mm-hmm.
at my darkest
Yeah.
moments. You know what I'm
I agree.
saying? So shouts out also to the positive place. My bad, I commend that brother for doing what he
Yes,
do,
he
but let's
does
go ahead
some
and go with bust,
amazing things, right?
Yeah,
Thank you. I agree. Hats off.
yeah. We got the family in the comment box. I don't want to forget everybody.
I see them.
Like the brothers,
Yeah.
my family. I don't want to call y'all followers or supporters.
Family.
This the
Hmm.
family. You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
But go ahead,
Yeah.
sis. Go ahead, run
You
it.
know, I'm just amazed because, you're right that that's a long time, age 9 to now.
Yeah.
And, for me, it definitely, I believe that it was always there. I just didn't know, that I really wanted to
Right.
write. I never really had a desire. I know I always loved to tell stories, but I never really thought about it from a poetic standpoint or, writing poetry. But life happens, right? And
Right.
I can remember around 2014, 2015, I really just had this yearning to do something different. And
Something different,
I
yo.
started to encounter different people in my life and develop some really awesome
Right.
friendships. And through those friendships, I realized that I wanted to write. And I started to write
Yeah.
about things that I had experienced. And you're right, some of it was painful, some of it was joy.
Yeah.
But I just started writing. I looked up one day and I had all of this material and I was like, oh wow, I'm a writer. Well, like, what's this about?
Yeah.
And it was amazing because you're right. As I would go back and read it,
Yeah.
I was telling a story. I was giving people a visual. And the more people that read it and I, communicated with them, I just started to hear
Right.
things like, you're really telling a story. Like, I can relate to that. Like, I can feel the words,
Hmm.
I can see it. And I just was like, wow, this is really new for me. But it really provides me a lot of comfort when I write. Um, a lot of it is self
It's
awareness for
it's a self therapy. Yes, yeah. It's healing.
it really is.
Self
Yeah.
healing. It's a
Hmm.
therapy. You can fix yourself. You can fix somebody else's life.
Exactly. Yeah. It really is.
That's why I tell everybody you got to be careful what you put on paper. But it's a certain way to write about a certain subject. Like people get touchy with when you talk about somebody being
Yeah.
touched or
Exactly.
abused or misled, depressed. It's a way to talk about it where somebody won't get more depressed from hearing about it. But it's the way you can finesse in the solution by addressing a problem. But to put the wordplay in like you would play a guitar, got to have a rhythm. So the person that is depressed and the poem is about depression, if you use the right words, you can basically get somebody therapy and you can fix somebody else, including yourself.
Exactly.
The greatest therapy is somebody that's been through something.
That's it.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. That's it. You're right on with it. And I like how you touched on the fact about those tough topics that people like trying to
Yeah,
avoid or they cringe on. And that's one of them.
yeah,
Anytime we talk about depression, anxiety, or suicide or
yeah,
child abuse, those are subjects that people kind of go, but you're right. You use the
yeah,
right
man.
words.
The right words will guide you in the right position. Because even when you, like you said, with suicide, and what this had to do with poetry, it has a lot. Because the writing thing, I wouldn't even be here if this wasn't my consistent therapy to continue to keep writing. Period. But poetry gave me that push towards other things.
Exactly.
I was suicidal growing up as a young kid because I think myself not good enough. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Not understanding the acceptance of being aware of what I'm accepted into, trying to be in groups and gangs per se. You would say different things, trying to find yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like to me the weakest way out. I'm not going, this is not discriminative, but I'm just saying it's a weak way
Mm-hmm.
out to end your own life because you're going through something like stress
Exactly.
or you feel like you're overweight and things like that. Man, write, draw, do a painting, oil painting, talk to somebody. Like that's why I thrive on writing
Mm-hmm.
stories and putting different situations and collaborating with other people, even if it's just a regular poem.
Yes.
We gotta help other
I,
people as well as speak the language of entertaining people. Because a
definitely.
lot of people don't want to listen to nobody saying you better do this, you better do that, you ain't
Right.
doing this right. They gonna cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
So address the language with entertainment, but just like they do with TV. So I won't stretch it too long. They put the
Yeah.
negative behind the scenes while you watching your TV show, you get negative stuff pushing your subconscious
Mm-hmm.
mind. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you sitting there looking at it, but behind the scenes it's saying sex, 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 but you can't hear it, but your kids is picking this
Oh
all up
yeah.
in their subconscious.
Yeah.
But it's flashed into the TV. So why do I do the opposite and put
Mm-hmm.
positive frequencies behind it and write a story and just push out therapy? towards people that have been hurt,
Exactly.
touched, broken, depression, and all these different things like that,
Because we,
man.
we
Poetry
we
is in
need
depth.
that. We really do.
Yeah,
You said so many like profound things. You were just dropping gems, and I just love it. Because I do believe it's a form of healing. I do believe it's a form of
yes, it is.
therapy. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I believe people that have never even thought about talking to somebody else to even get help, if they come
Right.
across these spaces that we have been creating individually as well as
Mm-hmm.
collectively as groups, when they come across
Right.
that and they hear those words, it can empower people. It can
Yes.
save a life. It can bring some awareness to a person's life that they never really had before. Um, so
Yeah.
I definitely try to be intentional with what I'm sharing and giving, because I
Yeah.
do want it to be powerful. I do want it to be impactful. And I like how you brought
Yeah.
up my brother about entertaining, because that is still important too.
You gotta entertain still, man. Nobody wants to be bored with I mean, I watch lectures. I can watch black and white movies, old westerns and things like
Yeah.
that. But some people don't speak that language to sit there and listen to a 3 hour lecture on stock or how to write a proper script. And they go to sleep. They be
Right.
like, man, all right, whatever. I can handle it because I read a lot of books
Yes.
and I'm good with business and whatever. Like
Exactly.
you may get it because you
Hmm.
understand it. But a lot of people get bored very
They
fast. They'll
do.
do 3 minutes and cut the
That's
video
it.
off. I appreciate just the 2 seconds that you thought about even listening to it,
Right.
but you actually listened to 20 minutes of my story, so that means I did something right. You got
Trust
something
me.
from it. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Anytime you send me something, trust me. If I can't listen to it in the entire portion of it, I'm gonna listen to what I can. But you best
Yeah.
believe at some point I'm coming back
Bits
to
and
press
pieces.
the button to
That's what
get
I'm
it
saying.
all, because I know
Right.
that there's some things that you're going to present to me. And
Yeah.
9 out of 10 is gonna give me a new awareness. So that's what's
Right.
so dope
So we
about
learn from each other.
it.
The greatest teacher in the room, as they say, is the ones that master listening
Yeah.
first. If you constantly running your mouth about what you know and you don't know and all, sometimes just be quiet, pay attention, and then you might master other things that you didn't even know that you could master. Like this poetry game is basically you can't master the game, but you can master the craft of finding your own style in it. Just like you can't be perfect, but you
Yeah.
can reach your own personal perfection.
Exactly.
I love me and my mistakes. So you put that in
That's
poetry.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
That is.
Without writing, there's no poetry, just like with jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz, it wouldn't be no hip hop, it wouldn't be no blues, it wouldn't be none of that. Jazz been here for a very long
Yeah.
time. Poetry has been here for a very long
Mm-hmm.
time. There's many scholars that use it, you
I
know?
agree. Yeah, it's so many different forms of it. I think that, that's what really amazes me is,
Yeah.
I love to sit back and go, and the other day I was doing some research on just kind of researching about poetry and the different forms, and how it all originated, and I was just amazed, and hours had passed by and I had been reading and researching because I like things like that. And you're right, other people may
Right.
not like that, but that's how I learn and become more aware of things, by researching and
Right.
dialoguing with people like you, because it's just so
Yeah.
powerful, and I'm just like amazed every day of the stories that I hear from others, poets.
Yeah.
um the awareness just blows my mind, because when I think I've heard it all, I'll come across something that you
Nope.
guys have put out, and I'm like, whoa.
Oh man. Since we ain't even broke the wall yet. Like the things that, like me being humble, I'm not all up on myself. Like a lot of people just about me, me, me. I want to give people the opportunity to that don't know how to write stories or
Mhm.
don't know how to act. I'm not saying I'm Denzel, but trust me, every day I'm working on my acting every day to present my words more properly to make it sound more believable. You got those who sound like they reading from paper and those who sound like I need you to feel this
Feel it.
fire. I want you to make this candle. I want to smell the candle as I read it. You understand me? Like I'm reading your book, but you didn't describe this candle so much I can smell the smoke in the
That's
room.
that's
And
it. That's it.
just to cut it, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat because I know new
I
people
see
coming in and
them.
out. I appreciate y'all
Welcome.
for coming through.
Yes,
You know what I
we
mean?
appreciate
But just on poetry alone, I want to get that collaboration opportunity to a lot of people because I'm into artist development.
it. Yes.
I take out the best in people and make it better because you may not notice. You may see something in me that I don't know I had, and you may help me become better. But I took it as a professional thing and help other people. Let's collaborate. I'm gonna show you how to write a
Mm-hmm.
script because I want to pass something down. I'm not selfish. This is poetry. Poetry is actually almost an emotion
Mm-hmm.
too. Poetry has a balance. It has a rhythm. Everything doesn't have a rhyme, but it sure has to have a rhythm.
Rhythm. Yeah.
And people forget that. You gotta read. You can't write poetry and don't read books. Like I ain't saying read other poems.
Mm-hmm.
You have to read books. I read script writing books. I read books on grammar. I read proper ways to how to pronunciate different words
Mm-hmm.
and the history behind that word. You may be
Yes.
using a word that might be from another country that means something else,
Right.
and you thinking it means something else.
Exactly.
This is
It's
poetry.
amazing. Somebody has a question. Would you say that everyone is a poet? I ask because I heard people say if you have emotions, you have thoughts, you have a story, you can write poetry. What are your thoughts on that? Do you believe everybody's a poet?
I believe everybody can write poetry,
Okay.
but everybody is not a
I like
poet.
that.
You can write poetry, but everybody is not a poet. When I
Yeah.
mean the difference, poet recites on stage,
Mm-hmm.
they turn it into a craft of literature,
Mm-hmm.
writing books, manuscripts. You may just be writing poetry just for self, like you said,
Yeah.
awareness to make yourself feel
Mm-hmm.
good.
That's a very good point.
Poetry and poet, two different things.
I like that. Music said everyone's not a poet, but they can be.
They
I
can
like
be.
that.
They definitely, you have the potential
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if that's your craft.
Exactly.
This is not a just a writing thing. This is almost like a craft, which you consider almost like you. I don't want to go into religion or nothing like that. Different things, like just different things you get into is a craft.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to
No.
study being whatever you believe in or things like
Right.
that.
No, I definitely
It should be.
believe,
It's to
and
be studied.
I believe you're right because when I think about myself, I'm probably the person that really writes poetry and really brings it
Right.
to life to be a story. Do I get up and recite? Do I do spoken word? Yes. But I
Right.
definitely believe my craft is more in the writing of telling a story. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm on
Right.
stage, performing. So I agree with
Right.
you. Now I do believe we all have a story, but that doesn't mean that we
Right.
are speaking it in, from a poetic standpoint, from a poetry standpoint.
Right.
So
Some people need somebody else. They are good writers, but need to get somebody else to present their story because they're afraid of the
yeah.
camera or they're nervous or they just don't feel like they can bring
Mm-hmm.
it like somebody else. That's why you narrate other people's stuff.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I come in at. That's where
It's
you
good.
come in at. Those who want to narrate, you say, hey, I will bring these words back to life from which they already had life, but I'm going to give it to somebody vocally.
That's true. Mm,
Taking poetry to a
yeah.
whole nother level. Like I stopped, you know what I'm saying, stopped just writing only a
Mm-hmm.
long time ago. I'm trying to do it all as much as I can before I check out of here. You know, energy can't die, it
Yeah.
multiplies.
I'm glad you brought that up about just only not writing it because I think when I
Mm-hmm.
was introduced to you on Instagram and we started to connect, that was one of the key things that I noticed very quickly about you is that you have these layers, right? And it's not just
Yeah.
simply, oh yeah, I'm going to write this poetry piece. No, it's this whole experience, whether you're narrating a story, whether it's a poetry piece, it doesn't matter. What I've noticed, the consistency with your work and your craft is that it just has these levels and it's amazing. And as I started to get to
Mm.
know you better, I quickly realized like it's really more to this thing than just writing some words on paper. Like that's
I appreciate you so
yeah.
much for paying attention. Like just seeing it, you see different because you got that third eye. You
Yeah.
looking. People, some people got your hand and they forget to look behind it. Like this is more deeper than just rhyming words, man.
Mm-hmm. So much more.
And people don't appreciate
So
that.
much more. And I think that's what
Yeah.
I have just come to love about you and the community because each of you guys are so different, but you bring
Yeah.
this story to life in a unique way. And what I really
Hmm.
appreciate about you, my brother, is this, and you're probably gonna laugh, but this is the thing. Anytime I press play, I
Yeah,
know that unique, distinct voice. I know that style of storytelling. It's like nobody else is that's out there, and it doesn't.
that's all I need to
And
hear.
it doesn't. And trust me, it does
Like,
not mean that there's not other talented people around us because it
yeah.
is. But these levels that you have created and that you are producing, and the amount of education and support that you give other people, is
Mm.
phenomenal. So I
No, I appreciate that, man. I trust, I honor that, and also I want to thank my other big sister, because you my sister all day, every day. My other big sister is Dr. Patricia Demps for
okay.
helping me with the. I know how to do a lot with the publishing stuff, man, but the proofreading and the
Yeah.
formatting, I left that to my big sister to help me with it. She helped me with it because I'm still trying to learn how to format
Mm-hmm.
properly. But to format my book, man, this book coming, I don't even want to give it the name of it yet because it's actually 1 out of 10. But being a perfectionist is irritating because I will sit here on like 15 projects done, but not done to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I work on them for like 6 years, keep correcting. Just put it out there. So this book, I'm just about to just say, I worked on it for 3 years. I'm just about to just put it out there.
I can't wait. I'm ready. Yes.
So just not to go outside, I want to just thank everybody that I collaborated with, and also the awesome people down here. That's Music Cat,
I
Divorce Coach
see
7. I
them.
see everybody down
Yes.
here right, Pat. Everybody right. You know what I'm saying? As much as I can see,
Love you
I always
guys.
want to resort back to the people, but I love y'all, appreciate y'all. But let's get it in. So let's go
I
ahead, run it.
mean, I'm again, it's this uniqueness. I have met people in person. I've been to
Right,
events before, and I've come across people that perform, and they're in their space of doing their spoken word, and it's
right.
beautiful. But again, there's something about, and I guess my question is, where where does that come from you? What's within you that has allowed you to gracefully
Mm.
and humbly create these levels at such a high magnitude of where it's just amazing no matter which level it's on? Like, it just gets better. Where does that come from?
You got to picture yourself like an onion.
Mm,
If an onion has layers, why shouldn't I? If trees got levels, why shouldn't I? So
like
I
that.
shouldn't place myself to be so simple.
Hmm.
So the thing they call writer's
Yeah,
block?
I've heard of that before. Yeah.
I love writer's
Okay.
block because you got to master it. I sat down and couldn't think of something because I felt like I had nothing else to talk about. I'm 34 years
Okay.
old with like a 90,000-year-old man's soul. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So it's
so.
like,
Ooh, yeah.
when you close your eyes, you have a complete darkness. You're in darkness for a moment. And to create something from nothing, you have to think about nothing. So at your point of being at a block, stop listening to your heart and just close your eyes and just
Mm.
look at nothingness. I'll listen to meditation, like 8 hour meditation music for whatever feeling I'm feeling at that
Mhm.
time. No words, and just close my eyes and just think about nothingness and just let the words. Sometimes you got to let that pen tell you what it feel like writing. And I don't write titles first. I let myself write the poem or write the story first,
Mhm.
and then write the title, so I won't be stuck in a box. Because if
Mhm.
the poem is love, I'm gonna be stuck with talking about love.
True.
What if it's something else in
That's
there?
true.
So unique title. So I speak from nothingness, blank thoughts,
Sorry about that.
write so much that you can't think about nothing else. That's when the best stuff come out.
Mhm.
When you have nothing else on
I
your
like that.
mind, you write about having nothing else on your mind.
That's deep. I love that. It's so funny that you said that, because a lot of times when I sit down to write too, I don't even think about titles.
Mm,
I just write.
right,
And you are so right. When I have tried to say, okay, I'm just going to write about this particular topic, that's when I tend to be the most stuck. But if I just
right,
freely allow my mind and my soul to be one with the pen, and I just write,
right.
it's the
Do it.
best.
And some people say, "Oh, what if you ain't writing with a pen?" That's some sarcastic people. Man, you
Right.
use the keyboard. Let your fingers do the writing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Get on that keyboard, close your eyes. That first line is important, just like a first date.
Mhm.
So if your first line is crap, I know the rest of your poem is going to be crap. So that opening and that closing is the most important thing to me.
Teaching us.
Everything in between is just the meat. You know what I mean? It's just the meat. You can't have a bread sandwich without no meat. You ain't gonna get full. You just gonna become bloated off of my
That's a good
BS.
one.
So what I'm saying is fill it. Fill it with something.
Mm-hmm.
Begin it and end it.
Mm.
And people forget that. They just throw stuff out. That's why anytime I write a post something, I'm not, throwing no
Yeah.
shots, but when I post something, I take my
Yeah.
time with posting it. Every little single quote down to
Mm-hmm.
everything is placed perfectly the way I needed it to be and not just put out there just for looks
Yeah.
and likes.
That's not what it's
It's a
about.
masterpiece every time I put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Or trying
Yeah,
to.
I totally agree. I do my very best to be intentional. When
Yeah.
you're right. When I'm writing that post, whatever that content is, whatever
Yep.
my intent to deliver, to give and
Yeah.
share, I'm thinking about that.
Now let me give you your roses
Oh,
though. Your page is consistent.
thank you.
Your writing is like unfound because when I first, met you and like we first started collaborating, I was like, okay, I'm about to present a story to you. And then we start writing back and
Yeah.
forth. I was like, man, your writing skills is
Oh,
phenomenal. You are in the craft,
mm,
most definitely. You're not just writing poetry, you are in the
thank
craft.
you.
Like some people say magic and different things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Poetry is the craft. And your page is consistent, the color scheme, and people don't know what
Thank
colors
you.
mean. Purple,
Mm-hmm.
lavender, different things like that, they mean things. And you got healing, you got the tea, you out here helping
Yeah.
people, and your page is classy all the way down. You got your own style. You're not copying off of nobody. You got your own
Mm,
flavor. And that's why I say, as a queen and my sister, I appreciate
thank
you.
you.
It's a lot of other people that's
Yeah,
consistent with their page
they are.
too. Keep going with
I
that.
really appreciate that, because I definitely work hard to show up in that space and be consistent. And I definitely want people to understand who I am. So hearing that from you, that means so much. And I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate it. I see my sister on here giving out hearts and love. Thank you, my
They
sister.
dropping
I
them. They
really
drop.
appreciate that though, because
Yeah.
again, I'm very new to this whole game. I just really got on the
Yeah.
scene in 2019 with Tea with Tina,
Hmm.
and I was doing it very minimal then.
Yeah.
So to be embraced by such a variety of people in a short amount of time has just
Hmm.
been a blessing for me. And I feel like this overwhelmness of joy to
Right.
be in the presence of you guys, because you guys kind of found me and was just like, okay, come on over here. And I was like, wow, who are these people?
Man.
They awesome.
It's a lot of good writers on here. A lot of people don't like to get credit because they think it's a show about. It's a lot of great people on here. A lot of them for the craft. A lot of them just
Hmm.
writing. I love them
I do
both.
too. Yeah.
I love them both, and I'm in the classy erotica. Like you don't really give me too much. I know, a lot of people get a little rough with it, but I want to be able to relate to
Me too.
everybody. Like
Yeah.
older women need love
Yes.
too. I'm talking about like the 70-year-old
Right.
women. They like reading stuff too. So I got to be
Right.
classy with how I say it. So of all mature
Hmm.
ages can listen to me. That's why you don't hear me do too much provocative
Right.
erotic stuff. I got my own genre. It's classy erotica when I'm talking about that type of stuff. Other than that. I'm just talking about whatever my heart
You
desires
are.
sometimes. Boy, more or less this. My mind is my guidance right now.
That's amazing. Yeah, I just sit back but you're right. I do appreciate that feedback, because it's good to hear that. It's good to know that,
Yeah.
because for me, when you show up, that for me, it's about being authentic. Whoever you are, show up and be
Right.
you. Don't come on the
Yeah.
scene and try to be anything that you're not. But
Yeah.
I do love the consistency, and you definitely
Yeah.
somewhere in these other dictionaries with the word consistent, you're there, because you you show up. I
I
mean, you
appreciate
really
you.
do. And what I love about the space is that not only do you show up in your craft, but you're always willing and ready to teach. You're always willing and ready to empower other people. And
Mm.
that's what it's about.
Oh, you gonna give me the
That's
salute
what
like
it's
that? I
about.
was saying like, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
I'm
Gotta...
serious. Like it's good stuff
No,
though,
man,
you
just
know. Yeah, it really.
but since a lot of people be here for the credit and the fame and all that, man, me, I work in the scene. You wouldn't believe how many people I work with behind the scenes. I was like, they were like, what about you? I don't care about the credit. The credit to come. Just be successful, man. Like, if you become a millionaire, you don't owe me no $1 million. But at the end of the day, hey, I'm here. If you forget about me, other than that, I like to see you make
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? I got mine. It's called karma.
Mhm.
Even though some people don't believe in
Yeah.
karma, I believe in whatever you put out in the universe, you shall get back 4 times. Whatever your beliefs may be,
Exactly.
mine is spirituality into loving everybody of any religion that's positive or any culture that's positive. Because at the end of the day, we all gotta love
We
each other.
do.
We gotta support each other. Whatever creed you from, poetry has no race. Poetry has no religion, no spirituality.
Nope.
It's a universal thing. It has no age. You can be 3 years old writing
Mhm.
poetry. It don't matter. Long as you appreciate it and don't abuse it, you'll be all right.
Exactly. I totally agree. Well, let's see what he says. Right Path says, what we do is done from the heart, it'll be kind of hard for it
Yep.
not to be heartfelt. So T with Tina, continue to write with the reader's heart. I will do that, my friend
Got
Henry.
to.
I will do that. Definitely. It definitely
Yeah.
comes from the heart. And I don't try to steer away to do something different just
Yeah.
to get attention. You know,
Right.
when you come in my space,
But
you get what you see. That's it.
but remember, the people that do support you, that look out for
Hmm.
you, they deserve good content. They deserve a break from their work. They deserve a break from their stress. If it's you, other than them just watching some crap or a series, TV on
Hmm.
show, give them something that they can go back to and get something from. They may need that. I mean, it's a lot of times a brother that helps somebody with a problem that I didn't even
Hmm.
know. I did it, but somebody come in, man, I needed to hear that
Yeah.
today. Sometimes I usually just take time to not write nothing, just go to everybody messages that I
Hmm.
appreciate and give them a voice note, like everything gonna be good today. You gonna be positive, man. This, hey, I'm here if you need me. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. You're right.
And ask for
That's true.
nothing. I'm just here if you
Yeah,
need me. Some people just need to
they
hear
do.
that.
I would totally agree. You know, a lot of times when people come on to social media, they're definitely coming for for
Yeah,
some sort of healing or some sort of answer or a piece of inspiration for the day. So you're
yeah,
right. My hope is that when people read my content, that they're left with some sort of awareness. They're left with
right.
a piece of love. You know, they're left with
Yeah.
knowing that they do matter. I think there's so many people on this earth that don't think they matter.
They don't, man, I don't understand that
Yeah.
though, man. Like, you like, I know you walked in this world by
Yeah.
yourself, and it's almost like a waiting room. You are the most important thing to yourself other than anybody else. You are way more important if
Yes.
nobody else cares about you. Find your way, your craft, or whatever to make yourself
Mhm.
feel needed to yourself. Because you're going to leave here by yourself. Nobody dies together. Rather, you got to feel like you got a soulmate or
Right.
not. It's really odd that that would happen if you left this world together. You leave here by
Hmm.
yourself with people that love you, usually that's around you, if you're that type of
Right.
person. You know what I'm saying? But people still got to separate business and family. Until they get that part, they'll understand. You got family and then you got
Yes.
business. People caring about you and people doing for you. If you give yourself free and nobody gives nothing to you, not with expecting nothing,
Right.
they don't care about you. Rather, it's business or family. Somebody that don't offer you nothing, a good
Mhm.
conversation, a good poem, a good piece, anything that you doing, man, they don't care about it. They just doing it just to
I
be doing it out of the sake of
totally
just
agree
whatever.
with you.
Just
Yeah.
whatever.
It's and it
For the sake of those that
and
work hard.
it's unfortunate though because a lot of times that's where people are. I'm so blessed to be around people that I know, like you said, they're my family. They care.
Right.
They, I know that I matter, and these people are giving, and you
Yeah.
as well as others that are on right now have given me so
Yeah.
much from behind the scenes. I can't tell you how many times I get people off to the side just simply going, "How are you?
Yeah.
How is your day?" You know,
Like, you good? I'm
Right.
good. You good?
And
Okay, all right.
that's so important because I think, like you said, people
Yeah,
just kind of get on autopilot and they're not really necessarily concerned
yeah.
about other people. But when it's genuine, you know it. They,
You could tell when it's genuine, and then you got to be careful. Remember this too. I learned this from another older scholar. He said, treat us every time you talk as if the microphone is recording all the
I like
time.
that.
Be careful what you tell people.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful how you tell people, because your most potential enemy is the one that you say you love, the one that say you trust, because one day y'all might hate each
Mm.
other. So be careful on how much you tell somebody you trust. And this has a lot to do with poetry, even with poetry. Be careful on how much of yourself you put inside of your poetry. Other than that, you will keep reliving the same problem if you can't get over what you vented about.
That's it. He dropped that gem, y'all. Did y'all hear that? That's true. I would agree.
So, like I said, love yourself harder than anybody
You
else.
do.
Period.
Starts here. Start there with you. You're right. Wow. This is you dropping them today, my brother. You said you was gonna do this though. You know, you said we were gonna create this space of
Oh, we about to get it. However many minutes we got, we about to get it. Because at the end of the day, most people gonna catch the replay. We about
definitely,
to go in even
of course,
deeper. You know what I'm
of course.
saying?
You know, is there anything that you want to share that you have not shared that you really believe that we need to know? You know that we need to vibe with right now because you've dropped so many things. Like I'm taking notes. I promise. I'm not writing, but I'm mentally taking notes.
Trust me. We getting them vibes from each other
But
right now. We learn from each other.
exactly,
Go
is
ahead,
there
sis.
anything that you want to share with us that you haven't shared yet that you think is really profound that we know?
To be honest with you, I mean, profound would be a good word, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep hitting y'all with stuff that I don't put out there. Like even with the singing, well, I'm neo soul all
I
day, every
love
day.
it.
I'm about to go ahead
Yeah.
and put together something with my boy. What's his? Y'all might know him. Wordsmith. Y'all look him up. He on here. Y'all know him.
Okay.
Him and his queen on here. You know, y'all remember Trend. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get something with him
Yeah.
and Nazi the writer. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get something in with her as far as on a music level.
Awesome.
And then you got Nequa B. You know, people that do music, but
Awesome.
people need to,
Awesome.
man, y'all need, I'm trying to touch all eras of putting this poetry in, rather it's
Yeah.
music, books,
I love
audio
it.
book, all that, man.
Yeah.
Touch all corners, but it really nothing that I really want to give other than rather surprise you with.
Okay. We like surprises. We'll take that.
We're going to play chess piece right now. I'm going to play with it. People can't know everything.
I
Got the
love that. I
surprise.
love that. And when you brought up about how you like to present poetry in a variety of different ways, I think that's
Right,
one of the things I like about creating the mindfulness audios that I do for my tribe because
right,
it gives me a different way to show up, you know, because I don't like
right.
just doing things one way all the time. I've never been that type of person.
No,
Um
sticking to one way of doing things is not a
I
good
don't
way
like
of doing.
that.
You're stuck in a
Right.
box.
So because I don't want to be in that box, it's like
Hmm.
I don't even have there's no box. Like what's that?
Yes,
I really like that because it gives me an opportunity to really connect and bring the mindfulness and the self-care in,
yes,
but I'm doing it from my poetic voice. And then a lot of times I add
right.
music. So it's like, wait a minute, here we go.
It's that alter ego you get when you start reading your poem. That personality is supposed to be completely
Yeah,
different.
that's true. Yeah.
People are like, man, you don't sound as much as you do when you talk. I sound the same. It's just when I'm reading, it depends on what the topic
That's
is
true.
about.
And you're so right because I've heard people say, wow, wait a minute. You got this whole radio voice vibe going
Yep.
on your audios. That's not you, Tina. And
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. It's, you know that phone voice you get, you be talking regular. Yeah, hold on, let me get this call again. Hello, how are you? Hello,
Right.
hello. Like you just you switch it up real quick.
But
You
it's
know what I'm
still
saying?
me. It's
Like
still you. Exactly. Right.
it's the more professional. I want to make sure I say it a certain proper way. I
Yes.
want to,
Hmm.
deliver the words properly.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And I know it's another thing I want to speak on, how people forget that spoken word is actually the cousin of poetry.
Thank you.
Spoken word is not to be written. Spoken word is just to be
Thank
told. You just say what's on your heart and deliver it as slow a pace as you need to come from here. Because when you're writing poetry on paper or recording it, all you're doing is writing it down from your own head. But when you do it from spoken
you.
word, your brain is working the extra pace faster to make sure these words make sense. You're not just saying
Look
gibberish.
at you.
You're
See?
actually making sense.
That's the difference right there. Mm. Y'all better catch
And let's
these
ask
gems.
everybody a
Y'all
question,
better catch
man.
these gems because they are coming.
Man.
So you talked a lot about music, and it sounds like you write music. Is there? I know neo soul is really that's your thing, but what inspires you to combine? What inspired you to combine the music with poetry?
Because they all make sense with each other.
Okay.
Because if you got music, there's a rhythm. If you got poetry, there's a rhythm. There's a certain sequence that they all play in. When you playing with certain words, music is the same thing. You just placing your words on top of musical
Okay.
instruments. And you got to make these musical instruments make these words come together and intertwine with each other. It's almost like a science.
Okay.
That's why I say poetry is way deeper than just words. It's a science to it as well, like to just put this together and make some things rhyme. Some people rhyme with every
Mm-hmm.
ending of their poem or line. Some people rhyme with every beginning word and not rhyme with the ending. It's a science to it, but if you're difficult, you'll play with people's mind and only rhyme with the middle word of each line that you write. And only an intelligent person will catch that. Man, you see the rhythm. It's like playing a xylophone. You're playing it, there's a tone that you're trying to keep.
Yes.
So music and poetry has a lot to do with each other.
Mm, I like that.
They're
That's
family.
dope.
You gotta have it. They're
Yeah,
family.
that's dope. They said you're right. It's a science. That's true. I totally
Yes.
agree. Yeah. Wow.
So I ain't got no restriction. You can ask whatever question you
Um.
want, because a lot of people be afraid. They be too bougie. Like, you go ahead and
Oh
just say what you.
no, no,
You
no. I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
I'm taking it all in because that was what we really wanted to be able to come today and really
Yeah.
dive into the storytelling part of it. I
Mm.
think on the surface, people see poetry and they just kind of think, oh, they're just
Yeah.
out there. It's a bunch of
That's
words.
what they do. Oh, poetry. Oh my God, they're talking about writing. Who cares? Oh, like, all right. Straight up, that's how you feel. Well, you can go sit in the corner somewhere while we do our thing.
Right.
You know what I'm
Because it's
saying?
so much more than that. And
Yeah.
that's what.
I mean, come on, man. Think of Marvin Gaye.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? You got Inner City Blues. Listen to the title, Inner City Blues. That's a poetic
uh-huh.
title. Listen to the words. We talking about a revolutionary type of vibe in lyrics. It ain't just rambling a bunch of stuff in it. It's poetry.
I agree.
It's very melodic tones that you speak when you speaking from the heart.
That's,
You know what I mean? So some things go over people's
yeah,
head, but some people don't care.
that's true. That's true. Tell us, I've heard you talk about this before, but I really want to be able to share this with other people too. Tell me about your name and what that means and how it all came about, because I know there's a story behind it. So, can you share that with us?
Well, I mean, put it like this. Everything that I do in
Mm-hmm.
threes. Three is a very powerful number. I am the poet B.GKL, and then I am Brother GKL, but it all originates from Gawd, Keenng, Lio'lf. Not God, Gawd, Keenng, Lio'lf, which is Gawd, which stands for law. And I don't spell my name King as a King. It's Keenng, which means I got to say it twice to make you people understand. And when I say life, I'm not saying life, life. It's life, like you would say Goliath. Life stands for lion and wolf, my favorite two animals, which is a lion and wolf. Lio'lf. So I am live, which means I am the king of the jungle, but I choose to run with the pride that makes me gold, king, live. So I walk with the wilderness and I'm one with nature.
Mm,
So the only meaning of that name is that I am my own creator as far as where I create my path in front
I
of
love
me.
it.
So however you want to say it, I am Gawd King Live.
Mhm. Thank you for thank you for that.
A lot of people get my name wrong. It's just
I
Live.
like
It's just like you would say Goliath, just without the Goliath.
it.
It's a trick of
I
words.
love it. You definitely have a talent with words and wordplay. That's something that I learned very quickly from you and became very inspired by.
Mm,
And it gives me a different level when I think about writing now, when I think about storytelling. And what I
yes.
really like is that I do my best poetry, I do my best storytelling when I'm
Yeah.
just free and I just allow it to
Yeah.
come forth. When I think about my book I wrote, the last short story that I wrote that's in my current book, I literally did not really have a pre-frame. I just sat down and I wrote from
Right.
my heart. And when I was done,
Sometimes you
I was
got
like, I'm
to.
finished. I did it, you know. Um,
And when you brought up story though, like, cause your book is
Thank you
immaculate.
so
For
much.
those who haven't gotten, need to go
Yeah.
ahead and check that out and drop one of them good reviews on
Please
Amazon. Yeah. Or even
do.
if you didn't get the book yet, help the sister
Yeah.
out, get them Amazon reviews, just even if it's on the artwork
Yeah.
itself.
Thank you so much.
And when you speak of story writing, it's spiritual as well. If y'all, I don't know if y'all up on African ancestral deities
Yeah.
and different things like that. In Africa, the deity is named
Hmm.
Anansi. Anansi is a spider that spins stories. He's a master of spinning stories that were realistic in human
Hmm.
life. And I picked this up and I asked myself, as this deity is what he is, I like the characteristics of this deity. I want to be able to tell a story, but also have the power to heal
Hmm.
somebody else through writing a story.
Healing.
So I feel like I'm a master writer at story writing, and you should consider
Wow.
yourself as such too. Upon what we got a surprise coming up soon, you know what I'm saying? That's about to be lit, as well as that peace and love to poet Katrina
Yes,
McCain and my
Katrina.
other sister Dawn
Yes,
Michelle, and
Dawn. Yes.
you know what I'm saying, and one more of my other sister, one ZM3 Legacy, because she just
Yeah.
narrated something for me. I didn't drop it yet,
Hmm.
but I gotta show a love to everybody in
Yes.
here. I love all y'all, you know what I'm saying, for coming in. I gotta keep doing that because people forget about the
That's
people.
true.
They get on here, they get to the top,
Welcome,
and then they
Queen.
forget how to
Welcome.
communicate
Exactly.
with the people.
Welcome. Welcome. I appreciate that too. Everyone that has either stopped by or currently on here now, or if you catch it in the replay, like this is, we just
Yeah,
wanted to come today and provide a space of positivity where we could just vibe a little bit, just a little bit
yeah,
about poetry and storytelling, and really
hmm,
give some gems that people typically don't get, and I was
yeah,
just excited and honored to be in the space with you because again, every time I'm in the space, I learn something. And that's what it is for me is I feel like I'm
hmm,
always evolving, I'm always changing, and I love to be in the presence of people that foster that
yeah,
give me that so that I can go out and be great. And yes,
yeah.
something good is coming up. You're so right. I'm so
But
excited.
the special thing about being a writer is somebody that know how to read people.
Mm.
If you know how to read the room, definitely when you're on stage, people don't know I actually have stage fright.
Oh wow, Rick.
I don't like being on stage because something that happened to me as a kid. I had stage fright. See, people ain't real. I'm going. Man, shouts out to Bernie Mac. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Keeping it real for motivating me to just enrich a pride. Man, I gotta tell it like it
Hmm.
is because I actually dealt with stage fright even
Okay.
today because either I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
I don't like being embarrassed. Once you called out in front of everybody, either you gonna fail or you gonna be the best at not failing. So I'm like, I'm already up here. And I ask the ancestors, please let me conjure these words from my heart and my soul to deliver whatever these people need to know in this room. I'll check out the room, see how many elders in the room, how many young couples in the room. It's some things you just don't read. If you got a lot of women in this crowd, you don't go up there and say nothing disrespectful and provocative. You got a lot of people that's single in the crowd. You don't go up there and do no poem about marriage. You got to read the room. That's why me being just gifted and having my third eye open always is to be able to read people, be able to know who is full of crap and who ain't full of crap. I can see it and I can feel it, and people wonder why I don't deal with them no more. So my thing to say is I keep my eye open. This ain't just
Yeah.
poetry. This is poetry on the next level.
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up about speaking because in my early stages of writing, people would invite me and they go, okay, go on up there and go on the stage and speak. And I'm like, no. And a lot of times it wasn't, sometimes I was really afraid and didn't want to. I kind of had that stage. But a
Right.
lot of times I'm glad you brought it up. I was reading the room and I was paying attention to the type
Yeah.
of people there, the environment that I was in. And my intuition was like, no, that's not what I'm
Hmm.
supposed to do. Um, and I had to honor that, because I would never want to put
Yeah.
myself in a position because somebody else thinks that's what I should do. It's like, no, let me
Yeah.
make for sure that I'm comfortable and I'm being authentic. And when I started to do that more often, I was able to show up in spaces and make a
Mm.
difference and be impactful. And it wasn't about what other people thought I should be doing, what I
Right.
thought. So,
Don't let nobody
yeah.
change your gift. Your gift is yours. Everybody open
Yeah.
presents differently, and every rip that paper differently. Some people are messy, and some are
Yeah.
not. You are considered that I could see as a classy person. You probably open your packages with a razor blade, neat and nice. Like ain't no need to rip it off when I already know it's a gift inside. You feel what I'm saying? So,
I like that. I like
you know what I'm saying, it's all on how you do it. And I gotta get shouts out on something that you said, like to the last but not least, my ultimate queen, my beautiful wife, man, make me appreciate being a multiple king of many
Mm-hmm.
talents and her being a multiple queen of so many
Yeah.
different skills and helping
Yes.
people. And if it wasn't for her doing certain things, law wise and different things and being what she do, I wouldn't even be here talking to y'all as comfortable as I would
Okay.
today. So
Yeah.
my queen motivates my writing, everything, anything that I do. I know if the world turn on me, I got that one that never
Yeah.
will.
And I can tell
Not
that.
saying you. That just this is a way of speaking. Like I know, since you would never turn on me. Ain't did nothing to
Yeah.
you for you to do
Right.
so. I'm just saying, if the entire world completely turn on your mate or whoever you consider you love
Right.
to have that much sacrifice of love for you, I know you got my back. If everybody hate me, I know I love myself.
Definitely.
Some
Oh
don't,
yeah.
but I love myself.
Definitely.
But I got my queen
She
though.
is amazing, and I love her spirit. And when you guys are together and you show up in the space together, it's a couple things I
Man.
know is gonna happen. I know you're gonna entertain me. I know I'm gonna learn something, but I also
Yeah.
know that I'm gonna feel this sense of love that you
Yeah.
guys have together, that you have created, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
It's poetic
it is,
love. That poetic love is unboundless,
it
man.
is,
And that's why we created Natural and More Forever. And that ain't no marketing
and I
thing,
love
but
it.
we created a show together, Natural and More Forever, to bring that the Bill Cosby image on TV, the Cosby Show, because that's why that motivated me to get married in the
Uh
first
huh.
place, because that's the only motivation I had for melanin people to become married and fall in love. You know what I'm saying? I hope good love for those who don't have that,
Yes.
but for myself, that was my motivation. I wanted a family
Yeah.
and things and so forth, but we wanted to make a show where we can be silly, drop gems,
I
give
love it.
wisdom, give relationship stuff, and not just stick to relationship
Yeah.
stuff. Do stuff and not be corny about it. Everybody get all corny and start doing these little challenges and all that BS, man. Like that ain't even real life. We talking about real life, man.
Right.
Whatever. It's poetic in my
I
eyes,
love
man.
it. I love your YouTube channel, and when I go back and rewatch some of the segments that you guys have put together, you're right. It's
Mm.
it's real. It's so real, and I have to take the time to thank you for showcasing my tea. I really appreciate that.
Man, come
That was
on now.
beautiful.
Come on now.
I was amazed. And not only that, also thank you for shout out about my book as well, because
Yeah.
anytime you guys show up, I know you're genuine and you mean it. And that
Yeah.
really matters to me. So thank you so much. You guys look like you were having a ball with the tea, and I was just sitting back going, "Is that my
That was a
tea?
good
Right?
tea
That's
though.
my tea. Right? That's mine." Oh
That
wow.
was a good tea
Yeah.
though. Yeah. And I ain't saying on no marketing tip because I like to thrive on keeping it
It is
100.
good.
This is my pillow
Yeah.
talk. That was some good ass tea. I'm gonna say it like that.
I love
I'm
it.
gonna say that was some good ass tea.
I love
Excuse
it.
my
Thank
language,
you
but
so
it's
much.
hey, it's a
Yeah.
word. But I'm saying so.
Yeah.
It was love, man. Things are healing, man. We wanted to do that because at the end of the day, we don't ask for nothing. We just put a shout
Yeah.
out, on everybody
We
book. I
did.
put love out on
We
everybody
did.
joint,
We
man.
did.
Like,
And I see you doing that.
but man, we don't ask for nothing. I don't ask for no credit. Just I'm gonna get
You
mine.
are.
Just get
Yeah.
yours. We gonna show up and show out. That's what they say. That's that Detroit 313
That's
right there. You
it.
feel
I
me?
mean, yes. Again, you've got, to me, you are the, I'm not gonna even say ideal. You're this amazing couple together. And
Yeah,
not only are you amazing together, when I see you all show up individually in your individual spaces,
yeah,
I still see the same. And when you come together,
yeah,
you want to talk about powerful, you want to talk about being
yeah.
impactful to the community.
Yeah, Scorpio and a Capricorn, when they work together, when it come to
That's it.
business, when we on the same, we infinite. There's
That's
nothing that
it.
we can't tear down or, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, to build
that's
up.
it. This has been so amazing, and
Yeah.
I one, this is not our last time. This will continue. It
Right.
has to, because I believe there's so many things that we can learn from this, and we will continue to impact others around us. Um,
Yeah.
I'm again so thankful that you spotted me out in the crowd, because the Instagram is, it's a lot going on out here in these Instagram streets. Okay, it's a lot,
Yeah.
but
It's a lot. We ain't gonna say it. Look at my eye. It's a lot. I'm looking. It's,
it is a lot
it's a
going
lot
on
going
in
on.
these Instagram streets. Okay, so for someone like you
Man.
and your queen, and for someone like this poetry community that has just embraced me, I want to not only thank you and your queen, but I want to thank the community at large, because it's a lot. So for me to be noticed,
Yeah.
I appreciate it, and it means
Oh
a lot
no.
to me. Thank you so much.
You are good. Let me ask you this. How many minutes we got?
Let's go. Let's go. We got about 15 minutes. Let's go for it. Yeah. Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Just sit back and think about the belligerent
Mm.
thoughts. Man walk down the streets, no legs, but he still can walk. I talk dreams to myself because I had too many nightmares, and I see that theirs are not stronger than me, and I'm talking to myself. I make myself unhealthy just to prove that I can get back better. I'm stronger in the soul, hard as stone and stretched like leather. You can't cater to my soul peace. I look forward to the west and discover the master all four forms of the east. I am a corn of a king, and I sit back and I jump like I hold my body up like a sling. You can't put me in the hospital and break me. You can't turn me around and break my wings and try to fake me. I am here in my position. I am the flame. I told you one more time. I lose all the body in me, I still shall regain. I don't believe in celebrity like or believe in no fame, but I believe in leaning on all three legs. That's two legs and maybe a cane. I shall make it as an elder, a man of many things. I sit back and put my hands together, the pride of a married man would ring. You understand, you see in my soul, the heart still sings the spiritual goal to see you back. This is no years of fling, poetic vibes in my soul piece. I got my arms and my arms fall back short and my eyes can still reach. I see beyond my mind set. My mind is set and just in a put down and it is locked in. I believe in nothing more than life. You can believe in what you do, mistakes, beginnings, and sins. I don't judge nor or neither. But don't let life come up on you, people, your body, and break you down to your features.
Mm. Drop the mic. Mm.
Gotta drop the mic.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, I'm a visual person, and I promise every word that you would just, I was visualizing it as you spoke. Very, very powerful.
And that spoken word that is
That's
the
it.
cousin of
That's
poetry.
it. That's it. That's it.
You gotta have them, you know what I'm
That's
saying? You gotta have the snaps.
that's it. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's spoken
That's
word.
it.
You
That's spoken
can't, you
word, y'all.
can't
Y'all heard it.
write that, brother. See, poetry, question is, I know we got men. Let me ask you the question, the same thing I asked everybody. I said it on a positive place. I said it on everybody's lives. The same question. What is the first thing your parents or people want you to do when you come out of the womb as a child? It's okay to say if you don't know.
What is the first thing? I would say, I would think the first thing is they want you to be
What
successful.
they,
I hear a lot of that most of the time. They want you to be successful. They want you to love.
that's a beautiful
Yeah.
thought.
Hmm.
They want you to
Yeah.
speak. They
Mm.
want you to be able to communicate. And that comes down to words. Words are so dang on important. It's ridiculous. Because when you do sign language, what are you doing? You're using words. When you pop your tongue in a dialect of any form, you're using words. Communication, that's why I said writing is so powerful. It's ridiculous.
Mm. Did y'all hear that? Words. I'm gonna leave it right there in
Words.
words. That's it. Mm.
You want your child to speak because, to be honest, if an infant can actually speak before they are tainted,
Mm.
they would tell you the truth of what life really is.
That's it right there. I'm so glad that you brought that up because as I have learned a lot about myself and I've done the work to
Mm-hmm.
heal and show up in the space I'm in now, one of the things that I have really tried to help my two sons understand is that they
Yeah.
have their own voice. And what I told
Yes.
them both a couple years ago is don't allow anyone to take your voice away.
Never.
Never,
Never.
never. And we have a lot of conversations about that because
Yeah.
I know what it's like as a woman to be in a space of where probably even as a kid, I could take it back to even being a kid and not really understanding that at that moment maybe I didn't really have my voice. And when
Right.
you don't have your voice, when you don't have that foundation within yourself, it's
Yeah.
hard.
And when you speak of that voice, take care of your
Yes,
voice in all
that's
forms.
it. Mm-hmm.
Hot tea,
Yeah.
health, detox, anything
Mm-hmm.
you can. Don't just be out here just speaking. You got to take care of your instrument. This is your saxophone, your
Love it.
piano, and many other
Mm-hmm.
things.
That's
That's why you can that's why you can go so many octaves, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you
take
have
care of your
to.
piano. Don't do that, man. Don't
You
do that.
have to. I agree. So yeah, I learned that it's important to hold it close to you. It's sacred. I believe that the stories that we tell, the
Mm.
stories that we share, even the stories that we have
Yeah.
not told that are still here, that are waiting to be
Yeah.
birthed. We
Mm-hmm.
have to show up in spaces that will hold that will give us an opportunity
Yeah.
to share it because it's so important. And
Yeah.
it's not just about me. When I'm
Yeah.
putting things out there, my hope is that people will learn, people will grow from it.
Yes.
Um, I'm not doing it for show by any means. It's
Right.
it's about impacting the community. So that's where it comes from me, and I see you showing up. And what I love about you is it. Maybe there's a couple days, and maybe you haven't posted, or maybe I haven't heard from you. One thing I know is when I do hear from you, you're going
Yeah.
to ask, "How are you? How are things going?" And that's genuine, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I really do.
Trust and believe I'm here. And, sitting with my sister T with Tina, man. Like I said, I love you to life, man. You my family. This ain't no fake
Yeah.
junk. You know what I mean? This is family because at the end of the day, man, life is short, man. Like far as for your flesh,
Mhm.
life is short. And just, man, y'all got to continue to support each other, man. Get up out of this whole racist thing. Get up out of all this drama. Don't become part of what y'all see on TV, man. Support everybody that means good meaning to you in your
Yes.
life. Don't forget, it's so many different cultures out here. Hawaiian, Jamaican, Brazilian. It's so many races of people. It don't matter if they positive. Treat them with
Treat.
love, man. Just help them. You know what I'm saying? European, India, well, I don't care. If you treat me with love, I will love you just as
Yeah.
hard and do for you. But I do know the difference between business and family. I'm going to buy your book. If you want to give it to me free, I'm gonna buy something that you sell it. I gotta put some money back in the pot, you know what I mean? Because that's the whole point of support. Nothing is
Yeah,
free. You gotta eat too.
I agree for sure.
Some things are, and some things ain't free. You got to have a balance because people will take
I like
advantage
that.
of
What
you
you
and
say?
think that they can get everything free.
I like that. That's it.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
Totally. Preach it. Say it. Say it loud so the people
Man,
back
come
can
on
hear.
now.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if we about to sign out, but sis, you the host. What we got to do? What you
So
want to
this
do?
we got 5 minutes. So I definitely in these next 5 minutes, I want each of us to definitely be able to leave leave this sacred space because it's sacred. Anytime I'm in a space with you, trust me, I'm humbled.
Yeah,
I know it's genuine and it's real, but I definitely want us both to be able to take an opportunity to speak to the space and to the community, and with any lasting words that we want to give.
yeah.
You can. I tell you what, I'll go first,
Like
and you can go last. You got
go
it.
ahead, go ahead, sis, go, cause you keep me on the time and go
No, you
ahead.
good. You got to go last. So I want to end by saying that one, I'm so thankful. I'm very humble. And this space in this community that I'm in, it has given me just this new profound joy. And
Yeah.
it's given me a sense of peace that I probably never had before. So I want to leave people with the notion of you knowing that you do matter. I love you. This is a space of non-judgmental. There's but
Mm-hmm.
love. And my hope is that today, if you're having an issue with not knowing that you matter, I hope that you can listen to this replay or live now
Mm-hmm.
and know that you do matter. And somewhere there's someone that loves and cares about you. And if you don't know
Mm-hmm.
that, start with yourself. Start with knowing that you matter. And if you need to identify a couple things about yourself that you love, start there. Just
Right.
simply know that you do matter. And if you need to listen to your breath, take that moment to take a deep breath in and out and be grateful
Right.
for that and love yourself. We got to do that. And not only do you need to love yourself, but then, as my brother said earlier in the live, support each other.
Yeah.
Watch your space, protect your space, protect the amount of access that you give to other people, because that's important. It's
Mm-hmm.
so important. And at the end of the day, know that you're surrounded by people that love and care for you. And now I'm going to give it to my brother. Thank you so much.
All I can say is like it's tatted on my arm. Life is a choice and death is not an
Mm.
option. You have to choose to live beyond what you feel that people have told you what you should be.
Mm.
You only are here for a short amount of time. Love hard as you can because it's bad out here. It's people dying every day.
Right.
It put tears in your eyes. But we all laugh. We try to do things, but it hurt.
Yeah.
So stick together, man. Like just try to work together and just do things, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, this is the poet, B.GKL, brother GKL, that is Gold King Live.
Thank you so much. This was amazing. You're awesome. Please tell my queen I said hello. I can't wait to see you guys back again together. I will
So
be paying attention. And
mm-hmm.
thank you for not only this opportunity, but for that dope opportunity that's coming up. That
Watch yourself. Yeah, we about to get it.
thank you.
Yeah.
So
Y'all get that recap now. You know what I'm
please,
saying.
yes, thank you, Katrina. I see you. Thank you for the hearts. This was beautiful.
All the love.
Yes, thank you guys so much, and happy National Poetry Month. We're in. This is how you end National Poetry Month,
Yeah.
right here in this space. This is how you end it. And thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. Please go and be forth and be great. and love yourself first, okay?
Ashe.
Take care. Be great.
Do you really?